And several candidates in the 2018 elections reportedly have ties to radical and far-left groups. One America's Jack Posobiec sat down with world-renowned researcher Trevor Loudon to explain what he has uncovered about candidates in 4 different states.
I'd like to welcome to One American News today Trevor Loudon. He is a filmmaker and a researcher of far-left extremists from New Zealand, but he works here in the United States, works all across the world. Trevor, thank you so much for being with us today.
It's great to be here, Jake. Thanks for having me on.
Now, I understand you're working on some projects and research as relates to the American midterm elections. Tell me what you're working on.
You've got 4 governors standing in very important states this year. You've got Ben Jealous standing for the Democrats in Maryland, Andrew Gillum standing in Florida, Stacey Abrams standing in Georgia, and David Garcia standing for the governorship of Arizona. They're all backed by a gentleman called Stephen Phillips. He's a lawyer from San Francisco. Back in the 80s, he was a Maoist radical associated with the League of Revolutionary Struggle, a pro-Chinese group based in the west coast of America. League of Revolutionary Struggle was the backbone of Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Coalition of the 1980s. They ran it for him. The idea of the Rainbow Coalition is you run candidates of colour and you unite the progressive base, the progressive whites, progressive blacks, Latinos, Asian Americans, Native Americans.
I think these days they call it intersectionality.
Intersectional, that's exactly right. But that was their phraseology at the time. So Stephen Phillips married into the Sandler family, very wealthy liberal donors from San Francisco. That got him access into the Democracy Alliance, which is the alliance of leftist billionaires like Tom Steyer, George Soros and others. But they are taking the ideological guidance from Stephen Phillips. So Stephen Phillips has directed a whole bunch of Democracy Alliance money into several southern states. They're targeting southern states with high populations of black and Latino voters who don't normally vote. So the plan is very simple. You run a progressive of colour at the top of the ticket and you win with 51, 52, 53% of the vote. So we are at grave risk of losing Arizona, Florida and Georgia in this election cycle.
A lot of people haven't focused so much on the ties of these candidates. I mean, I think most people think that they're moderates because they come across as moderates, they campaign as moderates, but then you look at where they come from, you look at their background, you look at their ties, it's, and similar to Barack Obama, extreme far left.
Look, Andrew Gillum trained for a whole year at a socialist training school in 2012, run by people associated with the Freedom Road Socialist Organization, a pro-Chinese Maoist organization.
So in many ways, this is sort of the Obama machine that's still existed in terms of infrastructure and people, right, personnel, since he's left office, and now they're moving on to new candidates.
Exactly, and we have to energize our base because our base has sort of gone a little bit asleep in some sectors. You don't declare victory after one. You got to win 3 or 4 in a row. So we got to win 2018 and 2020 and 2022, and by that time the Democrats will be so dispirited and decimated that we can probably cruise for a couple of elections after that. You know.
For people who want to know more information, who want to dig deeper into this, where can they go?
Go to my daily blog, trevorloudon.com. I've got a series on the blog, actually, it's called the Rainbow Conspiracy. So I'll give the background of all of these guys, and I'm actually going to be writing a book about it, but it's not coming out till after the election, unfortunately.
All right, well, hopefully we can get an advance copy. Trevor Loudon, thank you so much for being with us today.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.